What it do? Yo man, listen. Titus needs no introduction. Let's get right into the video. Titus from Space Marine 1 and Space Marine 2 is coming to Tacticus as a playable character. Let's look at his kit. He is a very average Space Marine character. Just like many other Space Marine heroes, he does have the Final Vengeance trait. He does not have any other trait. He has 9,100 health, he has 2,300 armor, 2,400 damage stat, 3 movement, 4 chain hits, 1 crit item, 1 crit booster, 1 armor item. He is nothing special when it comes to stats. However, where this character really shines is his active and passive ability. His gameplay loop is very unique and unlike anything we've seen in the game. So, his active has two parts. It does different things based on if a certain condition is met or not. If Titus charges an enemy, it does one big attack, which is guaranteed to crit and does extra crit damage. However, if Titus does not charge the enemy that turn, if he starts the turn with enemy adjacent to him, he does an AoE attack where he hits enemies with multiple hits. Very similar to Calgar's active ability. However, unlike Calgar, where he targets 2 hexes outside, this guy only targets hexes around him. Now, I will read the tooltip at the bottom of his ability to give you guys a little bit of, context. The tooltip says, when Titus gets revived or resurrected, and tactical precision has already been used, then tactical precision can be used again this battle. I will cover his passive, it will all make sense. His passive is called Fueled by Fury. Deals 200, and this is at max attacks by the way, deals 248 damage with all attacks for each time a friendly character has used an active ability this battle. So, if Calgar uses active ability, Fueled by Fire stacks up to 1, which means Titus will do 250 additional damage with all 4 of his hits. If another character uses active, it stacks up to 2. Now Titus does 500 damage with all 4 of his hits. The crazy part about this passive is the second bullet point. The first time each turn that Titus is defeated, he cannot be overkilled, which means every time he dies, as long as he's standing adjacent to an enemy, Final Vengeance will proc. Because remember, Final Vengeance only procs if you are not overkilled. The third part of the passive, the first time each turn he defeats an enemy with an attack triggered by Final Vengeance, he immediately gets revived. And he gets revived with 4,387 health. The gameplay loop for this guy is go in, use your active ability, die, get back up, and keep going. He is so cool. So, I want to look at his passive real quick. Just a closer look. Now, as I said, the buff applies to every single hit. He has 4 hits, so you're going to be getting, with 1 activation, plus 1,000 damage. This is infinitely stackable, so if you have a character such as Barkwell, the Dark Angel's Terminator model, who can recharge his active ability, you can stack it infinitely as long as there are targets. One note, Gida's active does not work for this ability. It only stacks it once. I know you can use it over and over again every turn. However, after the first turn, it does not give you additional stacks. Because dying is such an integral part of this guy's gameplay loop, you do keep the stacks you have built up when you die. So when you get revived, you do keep onto your stacks. I think this is this is very well thought out, because it would suck if you lost your stacks. The active ability has 2 parts. The guaranteed crit is pretty good. You average 4,500 bolter damage. You guarantee crit, and it does 1000 crit damage on top of what you do. You can use a knife because you're getting the guaranteed crit, so crit chance for that attack doesn't really matter, so you're just getting even more damage. The second part, he attacks everything around him. This is very good for horde clear, and important to note, his own active ability stacks his passive, and when he dies, his active gets refreshed, so he can use it another time. He himself has a very good feedback loop where you want to go in, use the active, kill stuff, die, get back up, use active again, kill stuff better, and you just keep on going. Now, if you get killed 2 times, then, it's game over. Or if you get killed and there is nothing next to you, then it's game over. If you get killed and there is an enemy you cannot kill, such as a horde, because remember, you only have 4 hits and hordes are 5, or swarms, sorry, you're not going to kill them. Now, I just want to talk about his guild raid viability, just a little overview. I'm not going to go too deep into it. Now, say you use this guy in the Ragnar team, because let's be honest, he has no synergy with Neurotrope, he has no synergy with the mechanical comps, so the only place you will slot this guy in is the Ragnar comp. You will get to use your active ability 4 times, because remember, Ragnar howls, Onshi uses active, Ragnar howls again, you will use, I don't know, Karn or Asmodai's active, and then this guy will attack. That is like a lot of damage on paper. However, he only has 20% pierce ratio. So the unfortunate reality of the situation is I don't think Titus will be a guild raid character. However, this guy has unparalleled utility. Now, the definition is, generally in gaming circles, when something has utility, it means that it features a feature set doesn't include damage or healing in any traditional sense. This guy lets you play around stuff, this guy lets you interact with your opponents in a very unique way, puts your opponents in difficult situations. Now, he has a very good single target damage ability in his active. He has the ability to deal with multiple targets because of the second part of his active ability, if he doesn't charge something. Because your opponent has to get in close to deal with you. Because if they don't get close, you're going to run up to them, one-shot something. If they get close to you, you're going to punish a lot of things. He does have sustain through death. I know it's a little iffy, because, if you die once, you can die again, and I understand that. However, then your opponent has to allocate even more resources, and you do have 4 other characters to play with. His gameplay loop is very fun. I played with him. He's quite enjoyable. His active feeds into his passive, and his passive refreshes his active, and then that feeds into his passive again. So he has a very enjoyable gameplay loop, as I said, and he feeds into himself, so he's not character dependent. Other characters do help him, for example, Barkwell using his active ability whenever he can. With this guy, Titus gets out of hand quite fast. And your opponent, if they want to take this guy out in melee, they will take damage. Because the fact that you can't overkill this guy means he will get to hit you if you try to fight in melee. Now, if you get shot, that's a whole other story. However, this guy puts your opponent in a situation where they have to commit resources, which I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that he's not horrible and he's not like game-breakingly overpowered. He's just right in the middle in a very good spot. He is interesting and he's enjoyable to play, and I think that's the most important thing. Now, my verdict is that he isn't great for raids. He does have a lot of utility. If only there was a mode where he would shine in. Foreshadow. Verb. Literary device used to hint at events yet to come, to keep the viewers guessing. That's the video. Bloody Rose Discord server, link in the description. There's a channel, Draupnir gang, you'll chat, it'll be awesome. Thank you very much for watching the video. Special thanks to Dieselfox, Papa John, Lita Lama, Sarp, Heartswept, Askeon, Yeris, Bruce McSloop, Proson, Infinite Power, use Alt F4, Cinnamon Profit, and I and he for entering my refer friend code. It's in the middle of the screen in red. If you want to enter it, you get a 100 Blackstone, and it supports me greatly, and I appreciate it. So, thank you very much for watching my video once again. Have a good day, and stay safe.